through thousands and thousands of tweets. But there was this one tweet where she mentioned like the reason why she is the way she is when writing about video games. There was this one tweet that stuck out for a lot of people. It was like the slow dawning horror when you see a couple of guys playing a video game and they don't invite you to play. And
sad.
hence, Leigh Alexander.
Okay, I'll invite her to
Never
Grand
happened.
Theft Auto if she
What
wants
kind of
to
person do you have to
on
be to
PS4.
carry that bitterness from such a tiny little insignificant little fucking incident in your life over
never
to
would've
your
happened.
adult life?
All she had to do is say, "Guys, I want to play," and they would go, "Yeah, fucking come on, yeah, I know what I."
Or
would've
say,
done.
I'm
Like,
next,
you know.
like the old days. I'm
Yeah.
next.
Yeah, what you would have done is you go, "Oh, do you know how to play?" She'd go, "Oh, I don't know how to play." What you done? You give her the controller. You go, "Look, this is how you play." You get your hands on top of her hands, and you're moving the controller with her. And because that's how you'd flirt as a boy. Look, yeah, come on, this is how you fucking play. You would have taught her everything. You would have let her win a couple of games as well, because that's what you would fucking do as a man. Because you're trying to get in her pants. That's a fact. That's a fucking fact.
I think she might have been a kid at this time.
Oh well.
Teacher?
Yeah,
Okay, well,
I
maybe-
guess she kind of grew up,
I'm a
kind of.
pedophile, apparently now.
So, yeah, you're a pedophile now. Jeez.
Even so, I don't know. I was saying in the break, it's like I was always trying to encourage my sister to play with me because I wanted someone to play 2-player games with, and I could never persuade her. And now she plays Halo, and I feel very bitter about that. So I should be a reverse Leigh Alexander.
Oh yeah, here's another one that she talked about with. I think it has something to do with Penny Arcade.
Oh.
Yeah, here's one. It's basically okay. It takes basically no talent to draw like Gabe. Techo should replace him with someone over the emotional age of 12.
Is this about the Dick Wolves thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was back in 2012.
As someone who's followed Penny Arcade for a while, you only have to look at their earlier comments to see. Yeah, he has improved his art quite a bit from the really early days.
Yeah.
It's like this is a guy who has improved his art.
Yeah, I used to remember back in the days they were just a small little comic strip online, and then they became huge after that.
I mean, some of them are really very good, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
other people may disagree, but some of them I think are really quite nice. I mean, especially when he does these. Basically, it is a comic book sort of format. A4. I don't know if you call it A4 in the States, but like sort of the standard sort of size, like a comic book size sort of panel, rather than sort of normal 3-panel sort of thing they normally do. Like a large one, they do like 6 or 7 pages of it. Basically, like a mini little comic book. He's basically good. You can tell that's basically what he always wanted to do. He probably always want to do comic books. So that's kind of what he indulges himself every now and then. You can tell he's probably putting a lot of effort into that. I mean, he draws a lot better than I fucking could.
I
tell you that shit.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, like, you remember when game critics like Yahtzee and Marcus Beer were first, like, drifting onto the scene of games criticism?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if these people that we're seeing coming out now, like Leigh Alexander, Ben Kuchera, all these people who are trying to be cynical about the state of gaming and the state of progressive gaming and all that sorts of stuff. I wonder if these people are offshoots of that kind of cynical attitude. They wanted to be them, but different, you know?
But different on their own terms.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even necessarily have a problem with that if it's just like, well, I'm a bit jealous. I could happily say I'm a bit jealous of these people who had success. I mean, why not? I mean, in my own little world, I mean, I'm working in the corporate world and I get paid quite well, but I'm not doing necessarily the things I'm most passionate about. I would love to work in games full time. It's like that would be, well, in my head that would be fun. Obviously, I know the reality of it is a little bit more worse grind than what I have to deal with. So, in fact, I'm better off than I'd ever be probably working at EA or Activision or whatever. So, in that sense, probably not. But the fantasy sounds good. The reality, probably not so much.
Yeah.
Maybe an indie developer, if you could really, like the Indie Birds, Roxio, before you realise, shit, we've got nothing but Angry Birds. How the fuck do you make this shit?
But I heard so much about Leia in her past that she used to write for her own blog. She used to be about sexual she was like from what I heard, she used to be in her, I don't know what blog it was, but she was like into the whole cosplay thing and the 90s style dressing.
I
heard Sarah was even defending bronies back in the day. It was like, don't make fun of these people for the way they're living. What happened to these people? Like 4 or 5 years ago, there's evidence of all these people that we're up against being rather decent people.
Yeah.
Even Randy Harper. Even her. When she's talking about work, because obviously, why is she called Free BSD Girl? Because obviously you've got the BSD operating system based upon the Unix.
Yeah, but she also she was into BSM.
Oh right, so there's a dual meaning there.
It was
Don't.
I'm sorry.
Don't go any further.
I'm sorry, I had to. Yeah, because she called herself that, but it was funny that she did, and it is true that she was. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Now I gotta go watch some PKF porn.
Do
okay?
not, just don't imagine her. Just laugh. Just laugh it off. Just laugh it off.
You know what I
there
saw
you go.
on Cracked?
Just don't imagine. Just laugh it off, because according to a source named Lisa, who we all know.
I have no idea who this woman is.
She
sounds like
MS Shadow Paint. Miss Shadow Paint.
Yes, I know who she is. I was being patriarchal.
She explained to us this whole thing, so she knows. She told us about Randy Harper's past and everything. That she used to be into the BSM community. That was a long time ago.
Everybody should have the opportunity to fuck. I mean, it makes people miserable otherwise. I mean, you find somebody, you fuck a bit, and everybody's generally better off. I mean, anti-sex feminism is not a healthy thing, I'd have to say. Not healthy at all.
I was just
being raped, definitely not healthy.
No. I think, yeah, definitely everyone in life should get a chance to just go at it with someone, and then they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Like, once they've had it, then they could just whack off about it for the rest of their lives.
That's what I do.
I digress. What was I going to talk about?
About Leigh Alexander. Tweets.
Probably. But Leigh Alexander, like, a lot of people are defending her, saying she's probably one of the best writers gaming has ever had, and it's like...
That's some bullshit.
At the same time, it's like... If that's a case of your best writing, really, how far do you think you've come then? Like a person who's so bitter towards their audience that any potential readers they may have, it's like, I don't want you reading my stuff. Well, why should anyone read your stuff if you don't want people reading your stuff?
Well, I imagine absolutely nobody who ever gets to watch this would know what I'm talking about. But as a Brit fag, someone who grew up in the UK, the ZX Spectrum being quite a popular home computer, basically the equivalent of the Nintendo in the US, where everyone fucking had one. That was the gaming machine. There are obviously people with Amigas and Commodore 64s who are slightly wealthier, but that was the people's computer, like it's communism or some shit like that. But that's what I had. That's what I grew up with, and one of the magazines that was out at the time. You remember those things called magazines? They're printed on trees.
Yes.
You remember them? That's where you got your information from.
Yes, Game Pro.
There was one called Your Sinclair, which had a very... In its early years, it was quite dry. Like a lot of computer media, it was quite dry. It's all about, this is a computer, and this is what you can do with it, and all that stuff. And then about sort of 88, 89, they sort of changed their style quite a bit. They became more comedic. And I think that's
more
important.
satire.
I mean, I started getting it when I was about 91. It's like, obviously at the time I was like 10 or whatever, so I was begging my parents to buy the shit. It used to come with cover tapes and shit, so you get games and stuff. It's a pretty fucking sweet deal, to be fair, paying like £2.50 for a magazine, and you get a fucking tape with games on it. Pretty good deal. You don't get that anymore. And yeah, they had a particular style to them, which is very humorous. And it's like, when you say, the reason why I'm saying this is because when you say Leigh Alexander is one of the best games writers, no, these people, they incorporated a lot of humor self-reference to, like, if you read the magazine quite a bit, you get the self-reference. A lot of humorous stuff in the game reviews. The captions they'd have for screenshots were amazing, simply because they often had nothing whatsoever to do. It's sort of Monty Python humor, I guess, very British in a way. But it was very much the sort of thing that informed how I thought about games for a long time. It's like, it should be humorous, shouldn't be too serious. You should be able to have fun with it. Yes, you can talk about it in a serious way. You can say, "Oh, these are good graphics, this is good gameplay, whatever." But also have a bit of humor about it. Like I say, especially captions would be saying things like, "Arthur J. Obviously false name is entering the room." I guess now they say he's entering the room to enforce patriarchy. So at the time it'd be like, Bongo was curious about the key in this room, and he couldn't quite understand what was going on, or some shit like that.
They were about games with love. They loved the games they were covering.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they weren't these, especially given the time when I was starting to read the stuff. It was basically the end of the commercial life of the machine. So, as I was reading it, the magazine was getting thinner, fewer pages, fewer sponsors and stuff, because that was the end of the machine's lifetime. I mean, it had a good run. This is like over 10 years, where the machine, an 8-bit machine over 10 years, that's a pretty good fucking lifespan. And so, yeah, the thing was basically winding down at that time. Magazines were dying off left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
But like I said, they basically had, people who stayed had passion. A lot of them moved on to other magazines. Like at that time, it had been Future Publishing, who were the guys who did it. So they do like a PC format, Amiga formats, things like that. So quite a few of them moved on to like PC format, which I also started reading when I got PC and stuff, and I had that for quite a few years. And yeah, but they didn't have quite the same humor. I've never seen that sort of humor and sort of love. You can tell there's clearly love for what they're doing, but also at the same time, a lot of humor, a lot of just let's be a little bit silly about this and not take it all too seriously. And that was made it so much fun to read and enjoy.
There was this Critical Miss comic on The Escapist. I'm sorry if I keep interrupting you, but I just got to
Go ahead.
thought. There was this Critical Miss comic on The Escapist, and it summed up a lot of things very well. It was just a 4-panel comic, or 3 or 4-panel comic. And it was like, gaming in the 90s. That game you love is awesome. Gaming in the thousands. That game you love is awful. Gaming in the 2010s, thanks to Kotaku and Polygon, that game you love is racist. Doesn't that say it all?
And now this game is sexist.
Yes.
I don't know what the fuck happened to my computer, and there were some USB problems for some fucking reason. When I turned on Netflix,
I stopped it remotely because you were talking too much sense. I had to stop it because otherwise feminism would have been destroyed ultimately. And I couldn't allow it. I'm actually a sleeper agent.
fuck off.
Doesn't that one comic just perfectly encapsulate this entire situation?
Like I say, where's the humor gone? Where's the passion and love? What happened where it went from something you did because you just fucking loved the machines, and you loved the games, and you loved all the other software. Like, obviously I had a computer, a proper computer, not like a Nintendo, so you'd have people talking about how you program it and all this other stuff, which helped me enormously, like, learn how to do all this computing shit in my later career and stuff. I attribute that a lot to the fact that I had a computer rather than a games console. And where's the passion for it? Where the fuck's that gone?
Even Yahtzee and the Angry Video Game Nerd and all those little cynical critics that came out like before this previous fight, and they were tearing them apart.
That's part of the fun. That's definitely. I mean, the Angry Video Game Nerd / Angry Nintendo Nerd when he first did it, fucking like almost 10 years ago now.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
wow.
It's almost that long.
Oh.
I think it's like 2006 when the first one came out. So, yeah.
I saw the movie at PAX Prime last year.
Horrible movie, or was it good?
It's horrible. It is awful.
I know,
It
he
is awesome
was using
time.
old special
Okay.
effects from what I heard. He was just using old ass special effects that you would watch in an old movie. I can't blame him for that because he
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you watched it by itself without an audience there to help appreciate it, it would be like as bad as Plan 9 from Outer Space, The Room, Sharknado, any of those bad ones. But
or UHF.
when I was watching it there with the audience, who are catching all the references, who are laughing uproariously the whole time, I wouldn't trade that 2 hour and a half for anything.
I think you're being a bit unkind because, as far as saying like I mean, basically they're working to a budget which is quite limited, and they knew what they're working with. So it's completely It's not like fucking Ed Wood, who is completely delusional, right, about what he's doing. Right? There's a slight difference there.
He was always just like standing around going like, yes, Eraserhead. Yes, the other one.
Cut. Let's go. Next scene.
Next scene.
I did not hit her. I did not do it. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. Yeah.
So how she's this life?
Yeah, that's delusion, right? That's delusion. There is none of that.
Yeah, especially when people are on a rush to make a movie. It's like, I gotta finish this movie. Okay.
Talking
Good shot.
about
Now, next one. Go.
Talking about The Room, you know the blonde girl, the blonde woman on Fox who was interviewing. Damn it, I will fucking bang her. I mean, I don't agree with her, but she's so fucking hot.
Colton.
Well, that's basically what Fox does. They employ blonde women.
They always seem to employ blonde women for some reason.
I think she's fucking crazy on the bed.
What's Fox News like?
I bet she's crazy on the bed.
Well, they did have. I know that they always have like different opinions on different things. They always bring in like a black dude just to have expressing opinions. They always bring an Asian woman to express some opinions. They always do that every time.
It's like, we're going to have a guest rapper on today, featuring guest rapper or something.
Yeah,
It's
featuring guest rapper Eminem.
He does the hip and the hoppity.
Yes, the hippity hoppity.
The big bit boppity.
Just look, click at the link. That's my mental.
All right.
That's how I.
I'm not clicking on links today. I've seen too much.
Yeah, I've seen too many as it is.
Well, with Randy into BDSM and...
Yes, now you realize I gotta be like, the price is right.
Yeah.
I would show it, but I can't due to copyright reasons, and plus the song.
Yes.
Will be killed.
Yes, will be killed by YouTube.
You know what's funny? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, man. It's
No, I keep interrupting people. I feel bad. Having Asperger's and
I would
shit,
like to
feel
hear an
awful.
interesting opinion.
Okay.
Opinions are bad and you should feel bad.
We've been talking about Leigh Alexander and Randy Harper and all those people, and they're women, right? And it's like some people could listen to the stream and come to the conclusion, if they've been buying into the propaganda, that we hate women. No, we hate these two people specifically.
I don't even
Yes,
hate
it's
it.
a very
I really
civil
don't. I feel sorry
dispute
for them.
with these women. It's not like we hate them we don't hate all women. It's just we hate
I
specifically
really don't even
three
hate them,
individuals.
to be fair. I feel sorry
more
for them.
individuals.
I really do feel sorry for them. I mean, like, if I went the other route of basically just being reasonable people, I think they'd be doing all right. No one would fucking be hating on them. But
It's like-
they decided to be complete cunts.
Yeah, it's like with Dina. I forgot her name. Dina from the Mighty Number 9, who was the community manager there.
Yeah.
Everyone had an issue with her because she basically, was being very dishonest with everybody, running the show, telling everyone what to do.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, we would react the same if it was a guy. I mean, look how everyone reacted to Movie Bob, his freaking insane conspiracy theories. Did you see his last Game Over Thinker episode?
I didn't get to see that. I only saw the one where he talked about...
The interesting thing I thought was he was so close to the mark and he missed it so far. He was so close. It's like you're tangential to the truth, and you come to the truth so close. You've missed it.
He basically all he does in the Overthinker, he debates himself.
It's not. I don't actually think that's.
It's like every time. It's like one. He goes on camera trying to stand up, going like, goes right here, stands up, with his big stomach, go like, okay, this is what you got to do. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're wrong. And then you see the other guy in the camera like in a costume going like, okay, you're right, but I'm not gonna back down yet. Here's another thing for you. Here's a clip from another 80s video game.
Yeah, well...
The thing is, I actually don't think that's such a bad concept as a rhetorical device. Sort of arguing with yourself. Sort of, I mean, if you're being honest about it, it's sort of internal dialogue.
Yeah, like I have internal debates with myself all the time. Should I bang that or should I not? I don't know. Maybe we should discuss this.
Yes. Yeah, like everybody would be debating on, should I bang Leigh Alexander or should I not?
You know what? I have admitted on several chats that I think Zoe Quinn is actually pretty attractive for what she is. And they have crucified me.
I've had sex with worse, so I'll admit that.
Inhale the popcorn, get cancer.
Just shake the popcorn, man. Shake the popcorn.
You said that Zoe Quinn is attractive.
I met her at PAX Prime, and when she had that blue hair, at PAX Prime last year, she was actually pretty attractive in person.
You just. Yes,
I did.
Well, look at this. Look at it this way. Would you have so much problem if she wasn't being such a bitch? I would have less of a problem.
Yeah, she's not like how attractive was she? Like she was like cute.
I would, you know what?
Cute.
I would. No qualms. She was cute. She was pretty damn cute at that point.
Click the link. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah.
No.
Click it.
I see Vox Day in the link. I'm not clicking it.
No, it's not, boss. Just click it.
No. You're not doing this. You're not doing this to me.
I can't do it on the show right
she's
now.
Pretty damn cute. And I gotta say, I just gotta say, I love alt girls. Okay. I knew a very damn fine looking one at Game City in Edmonton. It was like, oh. She reminded me of her, okay? That's all I am saying.
She was like the typical anime girl which you would date.
She was a nicer... It wouldn't be that difficult. She was just a nicer individual.
You know what? I would imagine 4chan...
I sympathize with her. I think she legitimately does feel that she got the shit into the stick. She's just being led along by forces out of her control. And she's just going along with the tide.
Well, this is the thing. I'm sure that is the case because... Anybody that's having notoriety is going to have that kind of shit. It's just a fact of the way our internet culture is. Even if you were Jesus Christ and you were the second coming, and everybody recognized you as being the perfect individual on earth.
That's my favorite. His second coming.
I was a Jew, but now I can see the true Messiah has returned. I was a Muslim, now I can see. I was a Hindu, and I realised all that Vishnu bollocks was bollocks.
God damn it!
Close up right there, man. That's awesome.
There would still be someone.
Yeah!
That's my favorite, the second coming.
The second coming. Close up again. The
I may
second coming.
have interrupted a good point there, but god damn it, that was funny.
The second coming. It's happening. Like you've never seen before.
Oh, man, I'm Aboriginal. I'm already red, so no one can tell that I'm like laughing or anything. So.
Oh Jesus!
It's fine.
Put your nails over my hands.
Seriously, man. If you came back and everybody recognized him and so,
do me in the bed like they did to you in the cross.
People say that shit, for Christ's sake. Even if there are people who actually say, "Oh, I love this guy," there's still people on Twitter going, "Oh, fuck you, Jesus! You've got to you're going to use your godlike powers to get off that shit." You fucking.
My point was, I legitimately think that Quinn, Wu, and yes, even Sarkeesian to a certain extent, legitimately had some shit directed at them that they felt was over the top.
They could have stopped it. They could have stopped it. There will be some fucking better human beings.
No,
just ignore it. Ignore it.
Oh, what Sarkeesian was going through even before Gamergate, right?
Yeah.
It's just like there were idiots, there were trolls legitimately going after them. They just blamed it on the wrong people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's like if this is why we call it the victim culture, because instead of doing the rational thing, which is say these are some fucking losers of the internet who have got nothing better to do than to try and get a rise out of you. Instead, you go, no, this is the perfect example of the patriarchy in action. Yeah,
On that note, I would bang Sarkeesian.
She bangs. She moves. She moves.
Hey, I'm single, okay? I can have these thoughts. Being
That's
a bachelor,
fine, dude. I'm not judging you on your standards on what women you like.
I'm a confirmed bachelor. I've got my bachelor pad. There's a pimp pad.
These guys a cigarette.
I know he's just. I think he's throwing up right now.
Fuck! I choke on something.
You choked on it. You choked on the popcorn.
Fucking Jesus.
You choked on your own.
Talking about Jesus and popcorn.
Jesus and his cum made me choke.
Well, actually, he could turn water to wine.
Because you got salty popcorn. Okay.
Yeah. Well, right now you're drinking water, so you know what.
Yeah.
That
Don't
means.
tell him what I said, or else he'll spit that water out.
Yeah. Because Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah. Considering what happened with Gamergate, Zan leaving, I personally will miss Zan. I know he's.
Yeah.
I understand what he's going through right now because right now we're dealing with.
He needs a break.
Yeah, he needs a break from all this drama that's been happening, and it's like, I don't blame Zan. I understand Zan always is. He's a really cool guy. I like him. It's just I understand where he's trying to say that we're just cannibalizing each other, attacking each other for no apparent reason because we have disagreements in Gamergate. And it's like, yeah,
me, I just ignore every single fucking.
Yeah, I ignore it too. It's sad that people are whenever, especially the boards, people have their disagreements about Gamergate, going like, look, I don't think it's a good idea to attack this and this and this, and they got reasonable points. It's just
I don't visit the board so often, so is that basically his main objection? Is like the sort of 8chan sort of culture going on?
Yeah,
No, it's just basically all these Twitter flare-ups too between these guys like Ralph Retort, Dry Bones.
Well, yeah, I mean they are being faggoty, which is true. I mean I see some of that shit. It's like,
and it's becoming a problem within Gamergate because a lot of people are turning against each other over drama, and that was the biggest problem that we seen in Gamergate, especially with Dry Bones and Ralph.
What happened between them? I don't even.
They had a little Twitter spat with each other, and they were like trying to troll each other so hard. They can't believe they just were like, "Fuck it, I don't care anymore. I'm out of Gamergate. I'm quitting."
Oh well, see, the thing. This is the thing. I mean, drama is drama. I mean, fuck. I know this. I've been involved. I mean, like I was saying earlier, like being involved in fucking news groups and shit. This shit. I mean, that was when I was a fucking immature teenager. You grow up a bit. I mean, I don't know how old these guys are, whether they're in their sort of middle 20s or early 30s or whatever. But I mean, it's the sort of thing you either grow out of it or you stick to it. It's kind of like at my point in life, it's like I'm much more casual about things. I try not to get fucking too involved. Sometimes you get a bit passionate about things, but I try not to take anything too seriously. You realise at some point, it's like. It's just not fucking worth it, really, getting too fucking silly about this shit.
Yeah, I think this was an inevitable part about GG anyways. Like, this is a truly formless, massless, just
Disorganized.
It's just a huge ball of people moving in a similar direction. They're not all gonna roll in the right direction sometimes, but they're eventually gonna coalesce.
And I do remember a lot of the GG disagreements, like the one with Roguestar. A lot of people had a disagreement with him with the operation ideas, and I remember a lot of people were complaining about Roguestar's operations, and it to me it was okay. It was a great idea. But a lot of other people were like getting scared of it. Like this was because Roguestar was trying to, do an operation where people can decide what they want to do. In Gamergate, you can decide.
To do anything else?
Yeah, you can decide what you want to do in the group. If someone has a good idea, sometimes they can disagree with the idea. If you don't want to do the idea, you don't always have to do the idea. You can always go with something else.
Yeah, I gotta make an operation myself. It's gonna go Operation Buy Me a PS4, and anybody who disagree with me, they just don't shave their leg. They just shave their legs.
No, I think it's just an extension of hyper debate. It's like everyone's all riled up because the world is against them.
Yeah, they're the same people who shave their legs and their vagina.
Yeah, basically, let's just look at it this way. Like, if you thought the entire world was standing outside your door ready to yell at you, call you a rapist, a misogynist, a shitlord, and spit at you, throw shit at you every time you walked out the door,
I tell them
would you be a little bit bitter and carry that bitterness to any conversations or any debates you have with anybody in your house?
I show them my dick and they go away because they don't like penis.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Choke on it!
I just come back to it's like at some point, not everyone's gonna have the same attitude as me. It's just like, I've been through that sort of shit, and like 10 years ago and sort of shit when I was doing a lot of web forums and all that kind of shit, and news groups when they were still a thing. So I kind of like gone past that now. This is why I enjoy doing the streaming these days. Of course, broadband technology allows that shit to be practical, and that's why I enjoy doing this sort of shit. You have fewer people, you have more in-depth conversations. There's, I think face-to-face actually helps quite a lot as far as the impersonal nature of text can be a barrier in a lot of cases. I mean, there was, we talked about Penny Arcade earlier. They did have, I think one of their classic ones was the greater, was it the greater shitcock theory of anonymity on the internet, which is basically anonymity, anonymity plus formal discussion or something like that equals shitcock, which is basically people have that anonymity. They're gonna act like an arsehole, which is true.
I'm a massive faggot. I accidentally closed the window.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Oh, I'm looking at this right now. I'm looking at this right now. I'm gonna go ahead and show this to the public about the whole deal. The whole.
The mugs?
Yeah. I might as well show this right now.
It's a potato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to admit, Margaret's so funny. She's so right about this right now. About the whole thing right now is people are charging for mods.
$50, $80, Jesus, literally nothing. 25 cents.
You know what that reminds me of? There was this whole thing about that iPhone app, which was like,
what was it?
I Am Rich, which is basically you spend.
I think that's Skyrim.
What was your fucking name on Hitbox?
Oh, I'll show you.
Games Inside?
Not your actual name. Your
Gamer
fucking
Load.
name. That's your porn star name.
Inside Gaming?
No, it's not Inside Gaming. It's Gamer Load. I call it.
Look at this guy.
It was one of my old. It was one of my old ideas that I had for my old life.
He's gonna blow his load.
Gamer load. You know how that backfires today? Just on my first thought of it.
Yeah, it's called Gamer Load. Not like game loading. Not like the guys from.
Take a look at my gamer load.
Yes, Gamer Load. Look at my load. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But it was basic. It was basically just an idea.
Running against nature.
I tell you, the first thing I thought of when I saw first saw a tweet with the hashtag gamer loading, I had no idea what it was about, but the first thing that came to mind was, yeah, I remember when I had to wait for cassettes for 5 minutes to load on my computer.
That's pretty much what it was. It was basically loading a game.
The closest thing I remember is the old PlayStation whir. The first PlayStation had that distinctive whir whenever it was loading. It was like, zzz, zzz.
Yeah, because that was old CD-ROM technology, and they were kind of crappy.
I missed that sound, actually. It kind of went well with Medal of Honor when I used to play that all the time.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, my sister had a PS1. There was a good Die Hard trilogy game on it, which is like had the first game was like you go up to the Nakatami Plaza, sort of like third person, sort of going for the floors, clearing out the terrorists. The second one was a rail shooter where you go for the airport and then on the plane, all that shit, and that was a lot of fun. And the third one was basically Crazy Taxi, where you keep them trying to get to the bombs in New York to stop them.
I remember
that was a great little trilogy.
I remember playing the Fifth Element game on the PlayStation. That's regarded today as an awful game for good reason.
Well, I think I played I probably still got it in my fucking loft, to be fair, a PC demo. Yeah, I mean, I quite enjoy it. Fifth Element is very campy, but it's a lot of fun. But yeah, the game was kind of shit as far as I remember.
Yeah.
As most movie conversions are, to be fair, there's very few. The only one I can think of is there was RoboCop for the Spectrum, and that fucking thing was in the charts, #1 for 2 fucking years. 2 fucking years. That was #1 in the fucking sales chart.
You know what? I almost thought that was Michael Jordan, owner of the Charlotte Bobcats, right there, but no, it has to be this Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it is. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Hey, I'm just
Michael
driving back.
Jordan. How's it going, dude?
I'm just driving back from first day at this new job.
Oh,
Don't
congrats.
crash into anything, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. So,
Come on in,
Like,
Jim.
LA
Okay.
traffic is a nightmare.
Come
What's
on
that?
in, Jim.
Damn.
I can't talk about what I'm working on.
That's fine. We're not going to ask. But you got
Fine,
any
we know he's
news?
doing a sex robot.
We all know he's selling his ass now.
News. I don't know. I mean, there was a big news day yesterday.
Oh, you had to watch Boss Day interview with Pac-Man.
I was hearing people talk about it and how he shat on Christina Summers, and I mean, Pac-Man he's that dude though. He's that very progressive sort of guy. So I was like, I mean, I didn't expect the level of disrespect that people are telling me, but I mean,
He's kind of been a dishonest cunt, basically, is the basic drift of that.
He seemed to derail the whole
you know.
the whole issue about Gamergate. It's like he tries to involve the people in the whole situation.
Yeah, the whole thing is it's very much a sort of stop being a fucking clickbaity motherfucker. We know Gamergate will get you views, but don't pretend it's about Gamergate.
Well, no, because Gamergate gave him a fuck ton of. Gamergate would be really good at actually supporting websites, like I've said, if they did it
honestly
in the right way. Like what they
Honestly,
is they wave their dick toward shit that Pac-Man does, right? You know, he can clickbait all Gamergate now all he wants. He will be forever be a source that will be clickbaited for anybody who's doing Gamergate stuff.
Yeah, I just wish
Right?
they went to 2
Really?
Dash and actually viewed our site. That way we probably could have survived. But no.
I know.
I'm not-
Oh wait, hey guys.
Hey.
Oh, it's not
Oh,
this
you thought-
fucking Norwegian motherfucker. Look at him with his Norwegian ways.
You know, it's
Are you-
really hard
Put it
to
to
run a
us.
website. You know, like the shit that we do for Ship2Block 20 is just kind of like breaking even. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why
If you're looking, by the way, if you're looking for a new writer, I'm available.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you were doing 2-slash. That's all the indie stuff, right?
Yeah, all the indie stash. I actually wrote the articles opening the gates of Gamergate, guarding the gates of Gamergate, etc., etc.
We tend to not do so many political things like Gamergate heavy, but yeah, man. I mean,
I write on Twitter about chip posting. Am I available?
I was actually, here's the thing. I was actually thinking about it. I was like, you know what? Why don't I, if that's what it takes to compete in this space, why don't I mean, I hate this idea, but I was like, why don't I just do the tabloid thing, but better? I was really debating that, because it's just like...
That's what Polygon does.
To be fair.
No. Like, better than Polygon. Like, actually do, like,
I think it is
tabloid with
possible to have.
research.
I think it is possible to do basically. So your tablet. I mean, that's the thing. Basically, look at it this way. You do tabloid headlines for great justice. It's like, I'm gonna fucking trick you into reading something more intelligent than you're expecting.
No. I mean, like, actual tabloid, like, oh, look at this scandalous shit that this motherfucker's doing. That sort of stuff.
Like Peter Molyneux
not
scandal?
Yeah, like Peter
Are
Molyneux.
you aware that you're mentally retarded?
Peter Molyneux is a fucking liar anyway. He's always been a fucking liar, okay?
Yeah, he has.
Let's just all be fucking honest.
Okay.
Fable 1 came out. He's like, it's the best game. He has that weird fucking voice when he such a game, and it's like, okay,
I'm trying to
whatever.
make the best RPG of all time.
Yeah, and then he comes out with Fable 2, and then he shits on his whole creative team that was on Fable 1. Oh, that game was garbage, but Fable 2? Oh, let me jerk myself off while twisting my nipples. Like, and then fucking
I knew it.
he says the
Is
same
it even
shit
possible
about...
to do that?
Yes.
I'm sure. And then Fable 3 comes out, and he does the same shit. He shits on the Fable 2 team, and then basically he's been able to do this because everybody put stock in his name, because like
What's he
gamers
done
have
since
generally...
fucking Dungeon Keeper that anyone gives a shit about?
Well, you know what happened is gamers wanted celebrities. They wanted celebrity personalities. It's a kind of a thing. It's a culture thing that's
wanted
kind
it
of
on tour.
out of media.
They wanted it in auteur. They wanted
yeah,
an author. They wanted
Dungeon Keeper was fucking awesome, but pretty much everything since then has been pretty fucking hit or miss.
Well, I mean, he had like black and white and all that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just he took a dive, and I don't know. I mean, a lot of them do. Like, look at Tim Schafer. Jesus Christ, man. Talk about an example of somebody who took a fucking... I mean, after Psychonauts, he took a dive. Like, he got Grim Fandango out and barely... I mean, he had a lot of other people telling him what to do. I mean,
It was so
that's the
late.
thing.
I mean, how much was he actually involved in it, though? That's the thing. He's not like...
But he is so small, dude. Everybody just go, oh man, Tim Schafer is psycho. No, he's not. His fucking team was psycho. That's why I piss on Peter Molyneux. Because Fable is not Peter Molyneux. It's the teams that, I mean, Fable too had a fucking huge team. I mean, when I do any of the analysis shit or, that I'm doing off to the side, and I see this, it upsets me because it's like these people they're working the hard hours. They're the ones who are like sabotaging their family life.
Yeah, I mean, compare the credits to any high production value television show to the credits of any high production value game, and just think, you can fit the credits for a television show in the last 2 minutes. You need to have a good 10 minutes for the fucking credits of a game.
Yeah, the one for Halo Combat Evolved Remastered stretched on for 45 damn minutes. I sat through them all.
Damn.
I remember, I can't remember who said it. It said something like, well, these people put a lot of work into this. All they want you to do at the end of it is to watch their fucking names at the end of the credits. So I feel like that's a duty. You must watch the end credits.
You know what I would rather them do? I'd rather them do like a cool thing where it's like they show people kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so like let's say like the character artist group, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like let's say it was Halo, right? It would be like a cool thing, and maybe it'll be like a music score or something by one person that's going on, and it has the credit with the music, and then you're hearing the music that is actually that credit, and then you see like a character model that group like detailed and did like come in all badass and stuff like that. That would be a really good way to captivate, be like, wow, look at what these people fucking did.
God,
They put Arnold Schwarzenegger in
I
there.
I remember in the original 2 Spyro games for the PlayStation, they did this fun thing during the end credits where they would basically just fly through the levels and that was a fun little thing I remember.
I like when they show a picture of the development process or something like that in the credits, because I feel it means more than names. Like, I like to see the the faces. I think faces are more important than names, because I just gotta forget the names.
There's so many people. I remember like Duke Nukem 3D back in the day. It's like that's basically exactly what you got. You got a photograph of the entire team, but that was like 20 people.
Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat 3. I remember that.
And it was like, yeah, you could do that. There was about 20 people, and they produced an entire 4-episode game with episodes for a thing. And shareware is a fucking thing.
So speaking of fucking Mortal Kombat, did you see some of the fucking retarded ass comments on Reddit that were being posted on the article? I
Go
said,
ahead.
hey, like,
Go ahead and say it, man.
Yeah,
Dude,
because
okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so I posted this article, right? And it was basically detailing, it was like, this is what happened with Mortal Kombat. This is a thing that's going to keep going, right? If you keep doing it. And I listed like kind of 3 like they're really deep-rooted psychological things into gaming.
What, the pre-order, the DLC, the fucking...
It's a toxic pre-order culture that's been developed. And then people were like, oh my god, he's an SJW. You said toxic. Dude, that's a psychological term when speaking in culture stances. And people are fucking idiots. They flat the handle with that. So they said something about that. What was it? I put it was the buying justification. Like it's a couple of them. It's like I kind of grouped them into certain things, but the major things, the 2 major ones out of the 3, were the culture that we kind of developed around, the pre-order system, where it's like, you get these things, and they're basically integral parts of the game. Basically, what Mortal Kombat did, like the characters are integral parts of the game, and it was made okay because they kept fucking lapping the shit up.
Well, there was
Sequel
quite a
after
good tweet
sequel.
on this. I saw. There was quite a good tweet with an image of basically it's like games in the past. It was a hamburger with lettuce, cheese, bacon, and then there's the image. Basic game was just the buns. Hamburger was DLC. Cheese was DLC. Mustard and ketchup was DLC. Bacon was a pre-order bonus. It's a current gaming day.
And yet, you'll see journalists, these game journalists, the ones that Gamergate is going after, saying that, why aren't you guys focusing on them? You know what? If you did your jobs, games journalists, we wouldn't have to try and make you try and focus on them in the first place.
That's the thing. Like, that's why I wrote about it, because I mean, those are things that are like I'm always telling people, and I even explained how to do a boycott the correct way, to where you can still support the game, but you can send a message.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing is,
please tell me. I want to hear this.
You don't pre-order, for one, and the second thing that you don't do is you don't buy the game on release. You wait 1 week. That's all you got to do. You can still buy the game and enjoy the game and then support the other people on the team or whatever. But for that first fucking week, you want to send a message, don't buy the game. And it is one of the biggest things that will fuck with corporate. It doesn't really affect the developer or, and shit like that, right? But what it does is it sends a clear message that, hey, the shit that you were doing, that you put into this game, is kind of fucked up. We still like the game, but we don't support this shit. And you don't fucking buy the other shit. And in the Reddit comments, people were basically like, oh, well, you should buy these games anyway because I'm a fucking stupid idiot. Stupid idiot ideas. I'm just like, are you? I was reading them and I was just like, you guys are so, you are the problem. You're literally doing the exact same things I said in my article.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't get it.
They're
Because
cheerleaders,
I've
right?
said this. I've said this. I buy budget for a reason. It's like I buy shit like a year or two after. Unless it's something I really have to play the multiplayer, I'll buy it like 2 years or so afterwards. It's like I'm gonna enjoy the single player
And
just as much as I
I'll
would.
admit right now, I
Guess
bought
what?
my
have
games
all the fucking
used.
shit.
I bought my
But
games
can we?
used. Go ahead.
I just, I just wanted to say, when speaking on the pre-order issue, I'm thinking about all the things that have been said about Battlefront recently, and the article in Forbes about why you shouldn't pre-order Battlefront. And you have to be crazy to pre-order
Oh,
Battlefront.
hell, Forbes is talking about this shit.
Yeah.
But Forbes talks about this
Forbes.
shit a lot, and they're idiots about a lot of. I remember talking to a Forbes analyst who was a direct competition at a hiring. I got the job because he was such a fucking idiot. Like, this
Yeah,
is
but
like a Stanford grad fucking
Yeah, but
doing
can I-
analyst work, and it's just, I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say that that article is just one of many articles essentially that is focusing on the whole pre-order issue. And people are we actually had a conversation on a forum that I used to hang out with. That is, it's a Star Wars forum where people in the Star Wars forums are essentially saying, "Do not pre-order Battlefront. Wait."
That's what I'm saying.
Why? The other thing I would say, why be a beta tester? Because they may have beta testing, but you're going to be a beta tester if you buy the game when it first comes out. Day one patches,
Yeah.
all that shit. Right? You're a beta tester.
Most
Deal
people
with
are
it.
going to be
You are
waiting for
fucking-
the because
Dude,
it's Star
that-
Wars.
That's another reason why not to buy a game day one. It's basically day one, week one is fucking the beta build for most games. It infuriates the shit out of me. This is why
Or in Battlefield 4's case, the beta lasted for a year.
I mean, I think that was also trying to build up.
To be fair, Battlefield Hardline hasn't had any issues reported on its launch.
Hardline got kind of an unfair shake because of its content matter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't be making video games about cop shooting bad guys when fucking Ferguson rolls around.
Yeah.
I was like sitting there, I'm like, oh, I feel so bad, because it happened. It was just a really terrible launch. I think that kind of killed sales a lot.
The game really seemed to have slipped under the radar quite a bit, actually. It was really weird how that happened.
Yeah, maybe people just didn't want to play Cops and Robbers, but I think the larger issue.
Specifically, this was actually a thing. He knew what was going on. I knew that.
You are lagging for me really bad.
Yeah, you sound like a Geth.
Sorry, I'm driving in LA.
Yeah, that's understandable. And the connections to the towers tend to be like boop, 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 boop.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, I can hear you guys perfectly though.
Yeah, the whole issue though is the game's media just writing all concerns off. It's like cheerleading for the game companies, and they wonder why GG is pissed off at them. It's like, come on, you're supposed to be better than this. No, but we love games. We're fans of games. We've got to make sure they succeed. It's like, fuck off.
This is the other thing. Do you remember? I think earlier on there was a lot of posts and stuff. People like, oh, well, look at the swag you got. Like, I think there was one person who's like, I was showing off all their Assassin's Creed
Swag.
Black Flag swag. It's like, for fuck's sake, are you really brought off by such trivial trinkets?
You know, Assassin's Creed Black Flag was okay game. I have to admit, even though there was
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was an okay game, and I bought it on Wii U used because I wasn't so sure if the game was going to be good or bad. So, and after hearing it was good, I was like, okay, I'll buy it.
I think what the major problem with these games journalists is, though.
Problem though about the chat, right? Like, YouTube is really good. Like, YouTubers are really good at playing a game and cheerleading the game, right? And going, wow, this game's actually fun. Watch me play the game. And they're also really good at going, oh, wow, watch me play this shitty game. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's no middle. And so what ends up happening time and time again is press cannot adjust to where their play should be. They'll continue to be clickbait and bullshit. And I try to explain. So I was talking to Jonathan Holtz, who's the editor-in-chief of Destructoid. And we were talking about a video that he released and talking about the overall numbers and stuff like that. Because I know Destructoid has lost its founding members. Right? There's only like 1 or 2 left.
Guys.
Right? And it would be Ulms. So what ends up happening is that like the whole idea about like what clickbait is and what is success and is like really debatable. Like he was like oh well, I released this video and it was about how much like porn versus The Witcher 3. And I'm like, that is clickbait. That whole thing is fundamentally clickbait. You're doing porn, Witcher 3, sex, like that's what it is. And you even say it in your video. And then you're saying, oh well, I think the quality of it. And I'm like, no, it was a cute video on that. It's something I would have fucking found on BuzzFeed. That's why I got like 2 million views. It was a BuzzFeed fucking video. That's what you made.
Their counterpoint to that that I've heard is they put all this effort into certain articles and they just don't get the views.
They don't get the views because they don't have fucking integrity anymore.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
They
I
would
don't
get
know.
the views if they funneled their energy, and what they've done is they've created. It's the same problem with Gamergate. They created a force that is not even what is. They've changed the space so fucking much, and then they're going, well, why aren't people looking at me anymore? It's like, when you do something that, well, I don't know, you go to E3 and suck on some chick's titties in front of everybody, and you're going to have a fucking problem with your credibility. Like, it's so asinine. Like, it's children. These people are children. And, like, I mean, I used to go and party and get fucked up and whatever, but I'll tell you what, I never got my dick sucked in public like I know another editor did. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not fucking pulling a king of pull fingering my girlfriend on the stream. Like, you know, that sort of shit. Like, that, like, King of Pull is the fucking game journalist. That's why I fucking hated him from the start. I'm like, I see it. He is that. He is that for people who are pissed off at it. No. And that's why it was always fucking like, you guys need to not do whatever this fucking thing is with King of Pull. Like, there was so many people like that. I guess it's entertaining to watch it.
You take the good with the bad. There'll always be idiots in everything, right? So the issue is you just don't let those idiots define what you yourself are trying to do. If you keep being integral, if you keep your integrity intact, you'll do good things.
The Pareto principle. Are you guys familiar with this? The 80-20 rule.
The what?
It's so weird, though.
80% of anything is basically going to be shit, and there's about 20% of anything that's going to be good. You could apply that basically universally.
It's just, I think, like, this whole industry is just so fucked up at this point, you know?
Maybe this was the crash that needed to happen.
I went into a meeting today, and I'm wearing a suit and a tie, nice slacks, nice black leather shoes,
Triggered.
wearing a nice watch. I shaved because of the corporate thing. I met with a person with fucking red dyed hair, goddamn neckbeard yokel.
This, you didn't go to North California, did you? You didn't go to North California then?
What?
This is in South California. I just want to establish whether the virus is spreading or not.
It's just so fucking weird. And I called and I'm like, why did I have to shave? The dude, like, what
Might as well
exactly
turn up in
are you
fucking
trying
jeans and a
to-
t-shirt.
You have to put your beard. You have to dye your beard. That's what you needed to do.
Yeah, no, you need to bleach your skin or charcoal it. Insert charcoal into your skin to make yourself more orange.
Chocolate would be racist.
You
my
have
connection's cutting out.
you have to pull your balls in bleach.
Yeah.
Bleached balls.
Yeah, he said his connection's gone
Yeah,
out a bit, so.
It's his fault. He's probably on fucking
I don't blame
4G
him.
or whatever.
He's on the phone, so we lost him.
It's okay. If he still hears us, we'll be fine.
All right,
But
I'm
he
gonna
did
go
bring up
ahead
some
and
good points.
I'm gonna stop it right here and cut to